The happiest person about him, though, and man who thinks very warmly of him, is Jimmy Carter, because Jimmy Carter is now considered a brilliant president by comparison to crooked Joe Biden. Jimmy Carter is a happy man. For Biden, wrecking the dreams of African Americans is nothing new. You know this. You know the real story behind this guy. I said, do I really want to say this stuff? Then I said, what the hell? I've been saying it. You know, when they said, oh, you can't run. You know, when you look at the presidency, it's such a cherished and credible position, such responsibility. But 92% of the people were politicians and 8% were generals. So no percent were from where I came from. So they said, oh, he's just going to have a good time. You think I'm having a good time? I'm not sure it's a good time, but I love it. I love it. Because we're going to make America great again. That's why I love it. But I said, do we really want to hit him that hard? Because if you do, you can really go back into history with him. It's the only thing he's really been good at his entire career. You know what that is? Being a racist, because he's a racist. Crooked Joe backed NAFTA, which is a disaster just a disaster. It's been a disaster for Hispanic Americans and for black Americans. China's entry into the World Trade Organization, where they just ripped us apart. I took in $472 billion from China. No other president has taken in anything. They did not want to see me do so well. You know, we're leading in every poll by a lot. You see it. And I don't think China's too happy about that, actually. The Trans-Pacific Partnership and every other globalist horror show that ripped the guts out of our country and pulverized black workers and owners of small businesses. So to any black voter who's thinking of casting your ballot for us for the first time, it might be for the first time, and probably is. It's amazing. What's happened in the last 2 years is actually amazing, and it's been based on results, real results. Just remember, you owe crooked Joe Biden absolutely nothing. You don't owe him a thing, so do not feel guilty. Please do not feel guilty. The radical Democrat Party has waged war on black families for many, many decades. Think of it. It's really 100 years. It's a century. They've controlled these cities for 100 years. Hard to believe. I said, can't be. It is. They've controlled. And look at what. You take a look at Baltimore. You take a look at New York. You take a look at Chicago. You take a look at all of these places. Take a look at what's going on in the West Coast. Take a look at what's happening. And they've controlled these cities for 100 years. And nothing happens. They're slum areas. They're dangerous. Nothing has happened. And we're going to change it. We're going to change it. Thank you. I like that guy. Thank you. Thank you very much. What a voice. I love that guy. Who the hell is that? Is he a friend of yours? Yes. We're going to send him to the Met. So come join us in the Republican Party and never, ever look back. We're going to do it right. We're going to do it right. On top of everything else, Joe Biden really has proven to be a very nasty and vicious racist. He's been a racist. Whether you like it or don't like it, I happen not to like it. Most of the people in this room happen to not like it. And if somebody does like it, they're not supposed to be here. Biden spent years palling around with notorious segregationists. You know that. He boasted that his home state was a slave state. He was very proud of that. He thought it was great. If you go back and look at his body language and the way he said it, he was very proud of it. He said that he didn't want his children to grow up in a, quote, racial jungle. I don't want my children in a racial jungle. Joe Biden drafted the 1994 crime bill, which caused unfair sentencing disparities that devastated the black community, black families. Cory Booker called Biden the architect of mass incarceration. Remember this. It was a time when Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden were talking about predators and super predators. You heard that. This is a hell of a lot more of a speech than you thought you were going to get, isn't it, huh? They thought it would be boring then. We'd give a little quick, boring speech, but we got it. It's called Let's Tell It Like It Is, right? And then years later, tell it like it is. Thank you very much. I just want to tell the truth. Remember Howard Cosell? I just tell it like it is. It ended up getting him fired, but these are my... And then years later, in an act of stolen valor, Crooked Joe had the nerve to falsely portray himself as a hero of the civil rights movement, which was so false. And then he said that if African Americans didn't vote for him, you ain't black. Now that one's been so recent, I didn't even want to, but he did say that. A lot of people were surprised. He did say that. But that one's so recent, I didn't even want to put it in. We had to go back to the real stuff. But he did say that. I was a little surprised to see it. I'm sure you were too. Unlike racist Joe Biden, I've spent my entire life working hand in hand with black Americans to create jobs, build buildings, invest in our communities, and expand opportunity and freedom for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. And we have. I built a lot of buildings, and I want to tell you, a black worker is a great worker. You've done an incredible job. They've done an incredible job. Really talented, great people. And that goes for others too. Hispanic is incredible. You know, the Hispanic numbers are, Ben, you know, they're through the roof. In Miami, we're leading in Florida with Hispanic. Along the Texas, they call it the corridor, but it's the line going between Mexico and Texas for a long way. We won every single community along the, they call it the special line. We won every single community, and mostly, I think it's 88% Hispanic. It was a fantastic thing, something that I'm so proud of. And it is really changing the Republican Party. The Republican Party's been a much bigger party. It's a much bigger, more inclusive party, and that's a fantastic thing. Yeah, no, it's a fantastic. I'm very proud of it. Here's my promise to you as your president. I will go to work for you every single day. I will not quit until the American dream is alive and thriving for you and for every citizen in our land. And we put America first. You don't mind that. We put America first. Everywhere Joe Biden puts our citizens last, I will put you first. You will be first, and America will be first, and we're going to do things that nobody ever thought possible. Our country